welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Aurora and here I am with the weekly energy update for the week of July 5th, 2021. Now mind you, if you are new to my channel, these are all just channeled messages. I'm tapping into the energy, so say that you find this down the road and it's not for this week anymore, that's totally okay. You can use these as basically an oracle or an energy recalibration, whatever it is that you want to set the intention for these videos for you, then that is exactly what you'll receive from them, right? So I just wanted to mention that for people that don't have that awareness, and I'm getting used to like making sure I hit all my markers on my messages and stuff so that, you know, if you are new, every time you are getting this information. So anyway, things I'm working on. I'm hoping that the wind is okay. I'm trusting because I did record a quick like 30-second video just to kind of take a peek and see if you could hear me, and there was no problem with the wind, but it's coming and going. So I just wanted to say that. I decided to do it outside today because it's gorgeous. Today has just, anyway, I'll get into the energy and into some story time in a minute. But yeah, I wanted to be outside today and just enjoy, like it's like 33 degrees out Celsius if you're on a Fahrenheit scale, because that's not good in Fahrenheit. But in Celsius, it is gorgeous. And yeah, so okay, let's get right into it. I didn't watch any astrology. I'm not tapping into astrology. I'm really tapping more into my innate wisdom and just pulling information through. Of course, when I'm guided to use astrology, I will, and I do. But this week, I just really didn't want to like sit and listen because I feel that in the last 2 weeks, kind of like my focal point has been listening, right? Really listening, really tuning into my own guidance system, really disconnecting from anything external to receive my guidance. Like I'm just listening. Okay, I'm guided to do this. Okay, I'm guided to do that, right? So we're entering into this surrender energy of listening, right? So let's just dive right in. I'm just gonna channel the information. I have no notes. I have all these decks of cards. All these decks of cards I'm gonna pull from and just channel the information. I already know what I want to tap on, in the sense of like what's been going on like right here in my reality and in people around me in their reality. So okay, let's do it. Okay, let me just tap in and see where I want to begin. Okay, so we're gonna start with just speaking of the masculine and the feminine energies, okay? So we all have masculine and feminine energies within us, whether you're male or female. Everything, in order to be whole in this dual world, has to have both sides, right? You can't have happiness without sadness. You can't have left without right, right? So it's like understanding the dualities and polarities. So what that means in the sense of a masculine and feminine is that within each and every one of us, we have to balance these energies. And what happens is when we don't choose to be conscious of our programming or our decisions or our life, then what happens is we live from our shadow aspect of these energies, which becomes the programming from any past experiences that we have. Now, of course, these are very closely linked to our childhood and our childhood programming, and most likely whatever you're dealing with right now is linked to either past life or childhood. So just understand that as you're going through everything. Like, I know for me, a lot of the time I'll have an experience, but it's not really like the surface level of that experience that triggers me or that I'm processing or that I'm understanding. So it's like having the capacity to really drop deeper into your heart space in order to see yourself whole, right? In order to fully see yourself, the shadow and the light. So really this week is really like balancing the masculine and the feminine energies, okay? And so like the masculine is all about the foundation, all about the container, all about our stability, all about our safety, all about our finances, all about our sexuality. And our feminine is the nurturing qualities, being able to feel your feelings, giving yourself permission to use your intuition, your gut, in order to guide you. Emotionally supportive. I don't know if I said that. What else is feminine? So the feminine is the surrender to the process. It's the trust. It's the connection. It's the nurturing. It's the nourishment, right? So having both of these in their healthy versions is really going to be the focus this week, because we're going to really be noticing, wow, this isn't serving me. Wow, this isn't serving me. But it's not like before. So before, if you've been here for the previous videos, it's been like, okay, purge, 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 and we're purging, and we're purging, and we're purging. And like, God damn it, does the purging ever end? Well, the answer is no. But it does get, I'm not going to say simpler, but more concentrated, okay? So like, it gets more concentrated in understanding the connection to everything, right? So, yeah, there's going to be ease with transition. Ease with transition this week. That's what I'm hearing right now. Ease with transition this week, because we're able to understand and feel that healthy masculine and feminine within us, which is the guidance system, guys. This is our guidance of like what is serving us and what is not serving us. So this week, like, your inner voices are going to be really loud and really communicating with you, and it's to guide you. And so you're accessing, it's like you're accessing your source frequency to guide you through, which is your spirit, which is your soul, right? So we're actually bringing spirit back into our lives. Yes, our soul has been with us. Yes, source has never left. There's a bug bugging me. But we haven't been embodying it. So now this is literally like, talk about purging, right? This is why we've been purging. The reason we've been purging is because we're now at this point of entering into the new beginning. And in order for us to get from that old patterning into the new, we have to go through the process of death, of dying to the old. And that is just a normal part of life. And so learning how to deal with the transitions and the change is going to really help you in the future, because the way that we're going, the trajectory that we're going, is not having a solid, physical, stable foundation, in the sense of like a home or something external, right? Like, that is having to be found within us, within each and every one of us. If you are focusing on a relationship, on a house, on a car, on a job, on your children, on a friend, on anybody or anything that's outside of you to support you this week, it's going to really show you that it's not serving you. Because what happens is we need to be in that space of solitude. We have to be alone in order to connect back to ourselves and to our source self, and to like, sorry guys, listen to this. Look at this bench I'm on. Okay, tiniest bench ever. So I'm like really uncomfortable, but I thought it would be a good idea. So that's why I'm like moving around like a madman. Okay, let me see, maybe I'll just have to sit sideways, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, like really having that awareness this week of like, every time that you go to look outside yourself for anything, just slow down and go within. Don't call your friend, don't reach out to your mom, don't reach out to this person, don't do anything except for maybe like sit in your silence and connect to yourself and ask your own soul. Your soul's going to be so loud this week, because literally we're being activated. All these light frequency codes, like these crystalline energies we're aligning. All of the stars are aligning. It's going to be the easiest way for me to put it, guys, just because there's so much information that I'll have to go into for you to understand. Long story short, there's a 26,000 year cycle around the greater central sun. So we have our own sun, and that sun, we go around 365 days for 1 year. Well, in order to go around the greater central sun, which our sun goes around, and all other suns that is around that source, greater central sun, it takes 26,000 years to do a full cycle. So then what that means is that we're now at that transition phase, like I just described to you about being in that death of the old and the birth of the new. Well, we're in that on an astrological, like on a massive scale. Yes, we have it in our own personal micro life, but on an even larger scale, I mean, there are species being upgraded and we're obviously one of them. We're part of this awakening. We're part of this path. And so what's happening is that with this completion of the cycle, we're upgrading on so many levels. And we're going from this carbon-based reality to a crystalline-based reality. So our physical body is ascending with us. And what that means is that our physical body needs to upgrade, it needs to purge, it needs to be supported, it needs to be nourished. So if you're not doing that, it's going to be very apparent, and it's going to show you where you need to put work into yourself. Because if you're not able to move the energy out of your body, like honestly guys, if there's one reason that you should be working out, it should not be to lose weight, it should not be to look better, it should be to feel better, it should be to think better, it should be to have the energy to live your life. You know, someone asked me yesterday, like, so why do you work out? Like, why do I work out? Because I need, it's like essential to life, you know, like that was my answer, because I'm like, well, first I gave this roundabout answer around, well, I want to do gymnastics in order for me to do gymnastics, like a very logical, practical answer, but at the end of the day, I'm like, why do I work out? Because it's good for me, because I enjoy doing it, because it makes me feel good, because it gives me energy, because it gives me a social life. Maybe not that I'm honestly that social at the gym because I'm there to work out, but still that human presence and human interaction is very nice for me. Yeah, so, okay, so wow, that was the masculine and feminine, touching on that real quick. See all this information? This is why I can't watch astrology videos, because my job is not to tap into astrology. My job is just to be a clear conduit for source. And, that doesn't take any thinking for me. And that's exactly where I need to be. I don't want to think, I want to channel, I want to tap in and give you guys the information you need, right? So it's kind of where I'm evolving to with these energy updates, and also I'm gonna try to make them shorter too, because I know that you know, not everybody wants to sit there and listen to me for an hour, but at the same side, some people do. So you know, can't win everything. Okay, so masculine, feminine energy, talking about these light frequencies coming in, guys, okay? Like, so when I'm talking this language, don't get caught up in the language. Just understand what light is. Light is life, okay? So if I'm saying we're having high fluctuations of light entering our atmosphere, entering our earth, all I'm saying is that this is more potential for growth, more potential to illuminate the shadow, more potential to embody your soul, more potential to step into your power, more potential to live the life that you actually desire and actually deserve. And because you think of energy, right? When you think of energy, you think of vibration, which is constant movement, okay? And so what's happening when we're getting these influxes and we're not moving our body, we're constantly in, look at this bug, we're constantly in resistance to whatever that frequency is that's coming. So say it's like, hey, we're going to download you with all this energy right now, but you're not doing anything with the energy. It is going to exhaust you. You're going to be like, I'm losing my fucking mind. I can't do this, right? I don't want to talk to anybody. Everything's pissing me off. Because what happens is when we're in a lower frequency, usually higher frequencies trigger us. They trigger us because we're not moving that fast. I'm just going to say it in that context. We're not moving that fast because that higher frequency is like constantly in motion. And when you're constantly in motion, then you constantly have that movement, that momentum, that forward movement, right? So when it doesn't, not that it doesn't matter where you're going, but of course it does. But when you're constantly doing things, like I'm going to bring up cleaning the house, for example, you know, like, okay, you have an entire house to clean, and where the fuck do you even begin? Okay, well, you just begin. You just say, okay, I'm going to start moving this here, and you start organizing. And when you start getting that energy moving, yeah, it might feel like you're just moving it from pile to pile to pile, but then eventually you start seeing, oh, now that has a spot, and that has a spot, and that has a spot, and everything starts kind of coming together, right? So that's kind of the same idea around life as a whole, right? So it's like when we choose to be in this higher frequency, and when we're choosing to, bug. No. Okay. Sorry, I don't want to get stung. So what happens is that when we're in this lower frequency, we have so much resistance to any change that it's drained. We give our power away to everything. Whereas when we start to choose to focus on the higher frequencies of like taking care of ourselves and our health and nourishing our body and exercising and our mind and meditating and coming back to that space within you that is peace and solitude, which most of us don't have access to, you know, like that is the journey, right? So that's really this week is going to be really, really apparent, like of like what is important to you and what really matters, because we're getting so connected right now, like so connected to our higher selves and to our true path and purpose. Like we've been living lifetimes to get right here. I got the download. This life is a gift. And yeah, it might be like a big eye roll because, oh, whatever. Okay, but seriously, guys, like you have lived lifetimes to get right here, right now, to whoever the fuck you are right now. I have lived lifetimes. I have suffered. I've had the full human experience, and now here I am. I get to be in my beautiful farmhouse. I get to have all this property. I get to have my chickens. I just went and got a new car today, actually, right? So, and that's not because of me. My mom is like, Aurora, your car is literally falling apart. I'm taking you right now to go get a car. Mom, I can't afford a car right now, blah, blah, blah. Aurora, you need a car, and you're going to figure out how to afford it. And so I surrendered to the process. I had a lot of resistance. I was like, but I love my car, and I just want to fix it. But at the end of the day, I know I need a new car, okay? So surrender. This is the same thing. Entering into that new life. Guys, it's a 2019 fully decked out Subaru Crosstrek. That's what it is. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. My stipulation was that I need to be able to sleep in the back of it. I need to have this, and like all these weird random things. And the guy was so amazing. Like he was like, okay, yeah, that one's not going to work because you're not going to be able to sleep in it. That one's this, that, and you know, it was just amazing. So when you can really be open to being provided for and trust your own intuition, like there were cars there that I'm like, absolutely not. Like honestly, they were kind of making me cranky because I was like, I don't want this car, and I was like, being a little kid about it because I'm like, okay, dudes, this is $27,000 fucking dollars. Like I've never even fathomed that much money before, let alone am I gonna go buy a car for that. Okay, so this is me upgrading my own mental capacity and my own limiting beliefs, because of course I can afford it. $200 every 2 weeks to get a beautiful brand new car, like come on, I can do it. It's just, do I want to do it? And so that's what I had to process. And I said, yeah, actually I do want to, because having a car that's going to get me around, and I don't have to worry about it not starting. I don't have to worry about anything at all. I don't have to worry about getting it fixed. It's perfect just how it is, right? So it's like surrendering to this new evolution of your life. And sometimes stepping into something that is better for you is terrifying and feels like shit because you think you don't deserve it. And so that's what I'm processing right now around getting a new car, because at the end of the day, I do deserve it. But do I feel like I deserve it? Of course, to a degree, but there's also those parts of me that are like, oh, Aurora, da-da-da, right? My old programming. We called my grandma to ask her some advice, and what she had to say was that, how is Aurora going to do that? I can't even afford it. And I'm like, this is where my programming comes from. Grandma and my mom, right? Those are my, I was going to say masculine, which is funny because in my relationship to my parents, my mom is the masculine and my dad is the feminine. And obviously so is my grandma. My grandma is the masculine as well, and then my grandfather wasn't in my life, so I'm not really sure. But, you know, it's just very interesting to see the dynamics. But anyways, and the programming. So really listen, guys. Listen this week. And this is me, right? Oh, I'm just listening. Okay. Listening. And the universe just pulls you on your path. Like, it just, when you listen and you do what you're listening to do, then you're guided, okay? And actually, I'm going to perfect leeway because I think that's good. Everything else that needs to come up will come up with the cards. I just wanted to point out that high frequency is coming through, the sun aligning with the greater central sun, us completing a 26,000 year cycle, and then balancing the masculine and feminine. Okay, and so this week I want to bring out this book, and actually it's from my grandma. She gave us a bunch of books, so this was one she didn't want. So this is Signs from Above, and like I'm just going to read the index to you real quick, or not the index, sorry, the table of contents. because the titles of the chapters I really love, and I forget all the integration that I've done, so that when I'm like having these talks, I forget that not everybody remembers the signs from above, the signs from the universe, right? So I'm like, okay, let me read these and see what I'm drawn to, and this is kind of our message. So the universe is teaching us this week how to connect to it. So chapter 1 is called Clouds of Happiness. Chapter 2 is called Finding Feathers. Chapter 3, Musical Signs. Then Pennies from Heaven, Following Rainbows, Heavenly Voices, Angel Numbers as Signs, Asking for a Sign, and Prayers for Signs. Okay, so let's see. What's the oracle today? What are we going to look at? What do we need to read? Okay. Okay, this is funny. Okay, so it's in the middle of like a whole story. So, but I can understand just from reading this. So it says, sometimes one feather isn't enough to make the loving impact the angels desire. When you need a lot of reassurance, don't be surprised if you're showered with them. Okay, so I just wanted to mention this because I love it. This is just saying that humans really keep needing the confirmation. They keep needing the reassurance. So give yourself that reassurance. Like say, ask, and one of the chapters is ask, and so this week you're asking too, right? So yes, you're listening, but you're asking. So first you ask the question and then you listen, right? So say, I don't know, universe, I really want to connect with you this week. Can you please show me butterflies? Okay, and then every time you see a butterfly, start taking note, and then start looking into the spiritual meaning of what a butterfly represents, right? Or a cardinal, or a certain tree. The trees have their own spirits, guys. Like, we have so many signs around us, it's just we don't know the language. So you're really learning the language this week, and that's why I was guided to get this book, because when we learn to balance the masculine and feminine and connect to ourselves, we connect to the universe and our external reality so easily, because we know the language. We can see it. We're like, oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. And I always say I have a lot of inside jokes with the universe, which is really just me with myself at the end of the day. And I just have fun with it. So I just go, oh my God, the universe is so funny, because like, it's the universe would play with me. I would see numbers everywhere, guys, like non-stop, like phone numbers, license plate, like everywhere I looked were numbers. And I was honestly getting annoyed, and I thought, whatever, I don't even believe this shit anymore. Like, it's showing up way too much. So then what did I start seeing? Everything was 1 minute off. It was, instead of 1:11, it was 1:12. Instead of 12:12, it was 12:13. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, it was 1, 2, 3, 5. Instead of all these spot ons, the universe said, oh, okay, Aurora, you want me to show you how fucking in alignment you are? Let me show you everything 1 minute off. And then I want you to tell me that you understand that you're in alignment and that it's not bullshit. So one of my little journeys, right? Because we're humans and we constantly want that reassurance, and we're constantly like, nope, not that way. You ask the universe for a sign and you say, nope, I didn't want it like that. Nope, I didn't want it like that. Nope, I didn't want it like that. Without actually acknowledging how fucking brilliant the way that the universe actually did show up for you, right? So realizing these things, that was really cool. So sometimes we just need to ask for more, right? Ask for more. There's nothing wrong with asking for more. Okay, let's see. What else are we getting here? Okay, I'm being guided to read this. I was going through a really difficult time mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Although I grew up in a positive household and spent many happy years at home, somewhere I'd lost faith in myself. When I looked in the mirror, I didn't recognize the reflection. To feel better, a friend and I decided to go to a nightclub. I went through the motions of getting dressed, but I wasn't happy. Instead, my self-worth was non-existent, and I felt like a prisoner of my own negative thoughts. Fortunately, I still had the wherewithal to ask God for a sign. I said, God, if I see the number 7 tonight, I'll know that this is a sign from you, that everything will be okay. I don't know why I chose 7, but I did, and then promptly forgot about the prayer. I put on a positive face and ventured out with my friend to the nightclub, where we danced. As we were leaving at the end of the night, a man I didn't know came up to me and said, "We are all 7. I let him talk for about 5 minutes, awestruck by what I was hearing. To me, he was an angel sent from God. I gave him a hug and said, "You don't know what this means to me." That's the night I realized that someone out there wanted me to carry on and remain hopeful. I shall always remember the magic from God and my forever protecting angels. Goosebumps, guys. So perfect. See, I just flipped to random pages. This is what I got. So those are the 2 little messages, and I think that's brilliant because it's exactly spot on to what it is that I'm saying of like asking and being and listening. Because when we kind of push aside all of our guidance and all of our messages, that's when we start feeling lost, because the truth of it is everything is within you. It's all there. So really it's you accessing you at the end of the day with all these signs from the universe and all your guides and all these things is all just labels and different experiences of people connecting to themselves through these different experiences, right? So being able to have a clear connection to your own personal soul is, I mean, it's, you never have to, yes, you'll still look outside because you're still here in the physical and you still like to connect with people. You'll get to a point where you don't need to go to readings anymore. You don't need to ask other people their opinion anymore. You can, but it's not so much attached to what they're saying. You're more or less feeling how you're feeling in order to access, in order to access your truth. Okay, so the heart chakra just flew out, unfurling back to love. Okay, guys, so this is a really, really big one. So this is the heart, the masculine and feminine balance, right? So this is what I'm getting for this, right? So this is exactly what this masculine and feminine balance this week is going to help us with. And so it's opening our heart. It's connecting us. This is our source connection, guys. When we do kundalini, anything rising your kundalini, like it could be sexual, it could be physical, like just exercising, it could be breath work, whatever it is that you're doing, people are missing pulling it up through their heart center. And that's the key, because in order for us to pull this dense energy, guys, this represents the 3rd dimension, all of our shadow, okay? So in order for us to pull that energy up through our physical vessel, it has to be pulled and transmuted through the heart in order to access, because that's the purification center, right? So the purification center in order to allow us to connect straight to source, right? So this week we're really being guided like to listen to your heart. What else? Listen to your heart. Oh, listen, there it is again. Oh, my cards are flying. Crown chakra, the unlimited self, exactly, more confirmation, because this is what I'm saying, guys, like, you have so much potential, and you're realizing it now, and maybe not, like, for certain, throat chakra, guys, major throat chakra, and maybe not for certain, like, you don't really know what you're doing, you don't really know how you're doing it, like, guys, this is the connection to our spirituality, right? This is the beauty. Like, I, myself, as Aurora Alexa Stefrak, today, right now, no fucking idea what I'm doing, okay? Like, I have ideas, okay? Don't get me wrong. But, like, seriously, the path that we're creating from here on forward, yeah, this is another message. Perfect. I did want to talk about this. We are anchoring in new earth, guys. We are the way showers. We are the light workers. We are the teachers of the teachers. We are the masters so that we can teach the teachers. Like, we are above them, and not in a sense of better than or anything. It's just the hierarchy of knowledge, right? You have to have that higher intelligence to guide you, or else, you know, we're all just running around in circles, and that's okay if that's what you want to do, but this is your access point. Actually, both of these are your access points if you want to be living in alignment with your life, okay, with your higher guidance, with your intuition, with your soul. Okay, you don't have to keep doing all the things that have been toxic for you your whole life anymore. Like, it's done. You're good. You made it. Congratulations. Now let's start doing things that are serving you. Let's start saying, cleaning out our mind. That's a big one. Mind purification here. Mind, heart and mind. Of course, heart and mind, guys. Head and heart balance. What did I say? This is the feminine. This is the masculine. So how did this feminine and masculine show up? Right here in the cards. Balancing the mind and balancing the heart and learning how to connect them this week. Like, and so in order to do that, we have to be able to be open to receive the information and then take the action. So receiving the information is the feminine, taking the action is the masculine. Receiving the information is the feminine. Taking the action is the masculine. So say you have problems taking action or listening. Those are the places you need to be focusing on, right? Like that listening is the feminine and that movement is the masculine. So what part are you needing the help with, right? And just really listen to your body and to your heart and to your own internal guidance system and the universe, right? So this week, huge connection, huge spiritual connection being activated because you trust. You just have this trust and this knowing now. And welcome to the 5th dimension, right? Welcome to the Aquarian age, because this is where we trust. This is where our access point into the infinite is, because we know it. We know we are infinite. We're just remembering, right? Okay, this one. Okay, you ready, guys? This one flew away, so I had to get up to go get it. Boom. Internal exploration. That's it. That's really what this week's all about. Internal exploration. So as I just said, cleaning out the mind, cleaning out the heart. That's what this week's all about. Slow the fuck down. Ask the questions. Be like curious. Be curious about your life. Be open. Say, where do I need to go next, universe? Show me where I need to go. If you have no idea where, excuse me, massive releasing. If you don't know where to go, ask the universe. Say, I don't know where to go. Because if you are pretending like you know where to go and you don't know where the fuck you're going, you're going to go into a lot of places that you don't want to go. So in order to redirect that energy, we go inside, we go within, we say, okay, what is it that's going on? What am I feeling? What is going on? What am I thinking? What is going on? How are these not in alignment? Are my thoughts aligned with my heart? Are my feelings? Are my feelings aligned with my thoughts? Am I feeling something over here and thinking I need to do this? Do my expectations have too much control over me? Do I really want this, but I can't never ever listen to my heart because God forbid I actually do something that I love, right? Because we've been so programmed into suffering, but that's no more. So this is that internal exploration. You're coming to this new paradigm shift of realizing that you are motherfucking worthy, that you deserve everything that your heart desires, that you get to live the life that you want. And this doesn't need to be material. This doesn't need to be anything external to you other than a feeling in you. Say, yeah, you deserve to feel that. That's all that this is about. It's not about having the home. It's not about having the car. It's not about having any of these. Because guess what? Before today, and Mom taking me to get this car, I was just as happy as I am now going to get this new car. It wasn't my car that I was relying on for happiness. I was like honestly resisting because I was like, no, I love my car and everything's fine. But that's me resisting to let go of the old and step into the new. And so I'm just observing that, right? So really be the observer. Watch yourself. See your heart. Mount Shasta, this one keeps coming up too. So I don't really know what this is about. Let me just sit. Okay, wow. I don't know what this is about. Look at that. This is literally, this is the high frequency codes coming in right now, guys. Like, this is the earth grid being activated. We're part of the earth grid, right? Like, we are one with all of this, right? So, like, this is who we are. So we are being downloaded with, we're like the mountains and the water, like the ocean, the lakes, the rivers, the grass, the everything. We're being activated into unity. Wow, this is so amazing. We're being activated into unity with this right here, okay? Because how are we being activated into unity? You ready? It doesn't just happen overnight magically. It's because you're doing the fucking work. It's because you're saying, oh my God, I want to become conscious. I want to heal my masculine. I want to heal my feminine. I want to be whole. That is the answer to being whole, is having your masculine and feminine in balance. Having your masculine in a place where it can show up, where it can do what it needs to do, it can make you feel safe, it can protect you. And we have the feminine who's there to nurture your emotions and to support you, to build trust, to connect with you, right? Like, so when you have all of that all encompassing, like, this is your activation, realizing you're never alone. You've never been alone. If anything, you've abandoned you. Holy shit, let's get into that for a minute, guys. You have abandoned you. It is not God or source abandoning you. Remember that language that you forgot, which is your communication with the universe? This is the activation. Oh, perfect. New blueprints. Look, new blueprints coming in, guys. New blueprints are coming in, and we're able to instantaneously, stop believing all of the old paradigm, okay? Like, in the sense of, like, you got to work hard to make money. Like, yeah, you do have to work hard to make money, but there's also ways where you can work smart. So you put the work in once. Say, for me, I'm going to create a course, put the work in once, and sell that course. So that instead of me having to repeat myself over and over and use my energy in that way, I can have that Nice, you're interested in learning about living fully integrated? Perfect, I have something that teaches you about trauma and what it is, and ancestral healing, and all these different things, past life, how to connect to your intuition, all these different things, all these different aspects, right? So these are the new blueprints. The new blueprint is where you're at home doing the work that I've created, and I'm out on the beach sipping wine. Just kidding, I don't even drink wine. But probably smoking a doobie, right? Like doing what I do. And so in relaxing, enjoying, right? So that's really the message here, is like we're entering into these new blueprints, and we have to be open. We have to be ready. So I just want to look at Mount Shasta real quick. 37, it's a 10, okay? So keep that in mind. Mount Shasta, your origins, the seeds that make you what and who you are. Star beings, sacred power places, unexplained mystical phenomena, intuitive messages and downloads, dreams and visions. Okay, cool. So here we are. We're activating new blueprints. We're connecting to our origins. We're exploring our internal landscape to say, what the hell is going on and how can I be in balance? Because that is literally what the first two cards said. Let's balance the head and the heart. Let's connect us, purify us, which we've been doing so much of. So you guys, you've already been doing the work, right? Trust yourself and listen. Trust yourself and listen. And then the masculine will take over once you've been listening and trusting yourself, because you don't have to question, right? You don't have to question, wait, should I, shouldn't I? You'll know, okay? Okay, that was amazing. That was beautiful. Oh, perfect. And then to end it off, we have home. So we're recalibrating to our home frequency, our true home frequency, guys. And I mean, they just keep coming. Healing. Beyond the mind. Radical expansion. I think that's good, okay? So keep in mind, guys, radical expansion is going on, beyond the mind. Once we can, so you say, once I say balance your head and heart, what comes after that? Well, then we're able to explore beyond the mind. Because what happens is that our mind limits us. So we're tapping into this infinite self of ours, which is our soul, which is the entire universe, right? So we're learning how to access these deeper parts of us. And so once we can this is how I channel, because my head and my heart are balanced. I trust what I hear and I say it. And I know that this is the guidance that's been needing, right? So I don't need the astrology videos anymore to make me feel like I'm qualified. I'm qualified because I am, because I've lived lifetimes for this. I've lived this lifetime and worked my ass off to get to this point, right? So it's really just about acknowledging. So once we can really connect our head and our heart, and then we can go beyond the mind, and that's when we start channeling galactic beings and getting all this higher information, and then you become the way shower. Once the head and heart is balanced, you are whole. Of course, we're always healing. Like, that's part of it. But then when do we start growing? When do we start learning? When do we start expanding? When do we start embodying, right? So now we're being urged, now is the time. Now is the time. I was going to pull other decks, but I'm really not. I feel really satisfied, and my computer's almost dead. So I think I'm going to just do one more out of here. And that's, whoa, these are the messages for the week, guys. Like, that was really amazing. Gracious receptivity, I just saw on the bottom of the deck, right? So gracious receptivity, which is not resisting to what the truth is, okay? Stop resisting the truth, because all you're doing is making it harder. So instead of resisting the truth, we are learning to listen and accept and surrender, okay? Okay, one more card for the week. Okay, here, these two. Awakened awareness and balanced forces. Mic drop. Do I need any more information, guys? Okay, that was incredible. So awakened awareness, that is what we are doing this week, and balancing our forces. Our awareness is awakening, and we're balancing our forces, okay? Perfect. It's so divine. And that is it. So I hope you guys have the best week. I hope that you are enjoying this newfound energy and this new beginning. And if you're not quite in that energy yet, that's totally okay. Just trust that you are doing the work in order to get to that place, because nobody can get you there except your own personal work. So I'm sending you guys all the love. If you're interested in booking a one-on-one session, please email me. I'll put my email below. If you like these messages, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and comment below and join the community. So yeah, I'm excited to anchor my own new earth, and I'm excited for all of us to walk this path together, hand in hand. So I'm just going to do a quick little circle so you guys get to see, because you haven't seen my property or my home now that I'm here. I love it. Where's that sun? Gorgeous. And then you saw my house, so our old farmhouse, my trampoline, our garden. So yeah, you guys have a beautiful, beautiful week, and I will see you for the pick a card on Wednesday. So go over and like my Facebook page. It is called High Vibe Healing 369. No, it's not. That's my Instagram, High Vibrational Healing with Aurora. That's on Facebook. But if you want to check my Instagram out too, High Vibe Healing 369. So anyway, that is all. I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I'm so excited to build our little community. Mwah. Bye, guys.